Hey guys, Jason here. I've got one very simple method for lead guitar that I want to share with you today, and this is going to help two types of people. If one, you have trouble finding what notes that fit the key that the song is in, or even better, since I encourage you guys to write your own music, maybe you've got this really cool chord progression and you're like, I want to write a guitar solo over that. It's going to help you find those notes that fit that key. Number two, it's also going to help expand your creativity. I believe this little method here is going to ignite that creativity and really help bring out your own character and style. In other words, you don't want to sound like you're just playing scales for a guitar solo, and you don't want to sound like that guitar player or this guitar player and all that. You want to develop your own style of playing. So I truly believe as we go through this that it's going to help you do that. Before we get started, I want to share the chord progression that I played in that little intro there, because I'm actually going to play this again at the end of the video without guitar solos and let you jam along with it, okay? Timestamps for everything, including the backing track, that's going to be in the description of this video. Here's the progression. Alright, so we are in the key of E minor with this tune here. I'm in standard tuning. Now you may ask, well Jason, how do I know what key the song is in? I hear all the chords. One way, and this is not all the time, but oftentimes it will start with that chord. Another way to tell is this just going to be that dominant chord. You're gonna hear that dominating chord within the progression there. So that's something we can cover in another video. But what I want to do is just take that one chord, okay, the key of the song, which is E minor. We're going to take that one chord and I'm just going to play a bar chord down here, okay? So instead of, I'm going to play my bar chord here. We've got our E minor bar chord here, and we've got these notes here. The cool thing is every one of those notes will fit in the guitar solo in that key. So let's just pick those out real quick. What's cool about that is, yeah, I mean, you can tell that's the notes in a chord, but it doesn't really sound like a scale or anything. It's not like we're playing. Okay, so again. Now you can go from there and you can start to pick out the notes that surround, the immediate notes that surround each one of those notes. What I did in the solo that you heard, and let me just play this little part real quick here. Listen to that. You'll notice that the notes I'm playing are basically the notes within that bar chord. Listen to this. Okay, so I did venture out a little bit. I played, most of those notes, and of course you heard me venture out just a little bit, but again, your next step is just to find the surrounding notes, the immediate surrounding notes that sound right for that key, and that's pretty easy to do starting from this point here, okay? So again, here's what I did. There's really only one note that's not necessarily in that bar chord, and that's this note here. But that's the note I'm bending up to make this sound, or to make this note rather, which is. Okay, and then there was another part where I'm going to this note here, but I'm doing a little slide, a whole step up from that. I didn't have to do the slide, right? And I don't have to do the bend. I could just go. that just doesn't sound good to me at all. So this sounds a little bit better. Okay, so it's those little things. I just kind of want to add this little flavor in here real quick. It's those little, a lot of times just like the bends and maybe how long you hang on the note, the little bit of vibrato you might do here and there. And let me stress something real quick. Sometimes we'll try to analyze so much of someone else's playing, and we'll say, well, this person over here that I like, well, they do it this way, so you're doing it wrong. I want you to know that there's really no right or wrong way when we get down to the mechanics of playing lead guitar, especially when we're talking about developing, remember, your own style. Not that guitar player over there that person watches or loves or adores, or not this guitar player, not even the one you like, right? And you can take bits and pieces from other guitar players and integrate that into your style. But just please remember to always focus on what's really coming out from you. Yeah, there's technique, of course, right? There's technique involved in that, and you want to nail those techniques down. But give yourself a lot of breathing room for this, okay? Because oftentimes it's the person that maybe didn't have the greatest technique and they end up developing their own technique. Well, that's pretty cool. Again, your signature style of playing, not that person, not that person. This is so important. So I really want you to get this. Again, we just took a regular bar chord and we played some or all of the notes in that bar chord. And remember, you can expand on the immediate notes there. Immediate meaning like, okay, well, what's the next step from here? See, just 3 notes there, we're already starting to come up with things. So just play around with that. Also, another thing I want to mention here is when you're just jamming like this, when you're practicing and just coming up with things, give yourself a lot of freedom with that as well. Okay, give yourself freedom to make mistakes and maybe play things that don't sound right. This is a time to do that stuff. You know, this is a time to not worry about, you know, what so-and-so would think if they heard that note you just played. Who cares? You are in the process of developing yourself. And well, here's the thing, that process never really ends. So let's take another chord, okay, in that progression. I've got a C in there. That's the next chord we go to. We've got the backing track coming right up here. Let me know if this helps. Leave me a comment, guys. Give this a like, and please leave me a comment if this helps you. I'd like to know if this style of lesson, I know it's kind of off the cuff here, but I enjoy doing these videos, and I hope you're getting something out of it. Let me know if that's the case. Let's take the C chord. That's the next chord in this progression, okay? And we'll do the bar chord. Now, we can take the notes from the regular chord, right? We can play all of those notes within the solo. But I don't want to do that, right? I mean, because a lot of times I'm not playing solos up in that area of the fretboard. So we could do one of two things. We could take the bar chord starting on the A string. We could continue to do that. I'm just kind of messing around here. But I want you to do that. Okay, do that. But I also want you to do this. Take the C chord down here, starting on the E string, right? Same chord. So what's really cool about that is we know we have these notes that would fit. But now, and all I did just now was like, I stayed in that little region. It doesn't mean you have to do that. I want to make this easy for you though. I like to find the easiest way possible first, then expand on that, okay? And this way you don't get overwhelmed in the beginning. So we'll go down here, play this version of the C chord. Well, guess what? We just found a bunch more notes that will fit in our guitar solo. So we have those notes as well. Now it could get a little tricky there because you might find yourself actually venturing off into playing in another key with some of those notes as you go through that. So if you play the C chord along with the E minor, just start playing those notes within those chords together and just see how that fits. And this gets easier playing along with an actual rhythm, playing along with a backing track, which again we're about to get to shortly. So I hope this helps. And again, it's just all about finding those notes, within the chords. Well, you already know them because you're playing the bar chords, right? And then we're just gonna take those notes and add those to our solo and then start to gradually expand beyond that. And then before you know it, okay, well, you've got all these notes up here. Well, everything starts over at the 12th fret. So if we're starting to play stuff like, if I play something here and I replicate it here, I'll get kind of close to it sometimes, but a lot of times I won't play the exact same thing. I say that to say this: you don't have to play, okay, well, I did this here, so I got to do the same thing there. Again, explore, experiment with this stuff, just pick up your guitar and start playing it, you know what I mean? Go through this and, okay, well, I know where these notes are now. I'm figuring out where they are down here as well, but you might get inspired to play something else, right? On the higher notes, something a little different than you play up here. So again, there are no rules to this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. There's only you being really satisfied about your progress that you're making, and more importantly, developing your creative style, your own signature style. So I'm gonna play the backing track now. Hey, make up some stuff. Go back through this video as many times as you need to. Hopefully you picked up some golden nuggets in here and some things that help you. I'll let this play for about a minute here. Real quick, guys, I am working on a lead guitar course. You guys know I have my Metal Guitar Apprentice, perfect for beginners getting into metal, and I've got Metal Riff Master, over 80 metal rhythms that you can learn and expand on. But I do have a lead guitar course that I'm working on. I will keep you updated on my YouTube channel on that, okay? So I will let you know when that's released. Now, if you don't have my free practice guide, grab a copy of that. It's completely free. It's called Metal Riffs and Licks. I am going to be enhancing that, so you'll get the version now, and of course you'll get the enhanced version when that comes out as well, depending on when you sign up here. So guys, I hope this video helped you. As always, keep it metal and keep playing music.